By policy, before I deploy him, we need to be looking for somebody who's either missing and an endanger to themselves or somebody who's committed a crime.
Okay.
Because we do incur a certain amount of liability every time that dog gets out of the car.
Yeah.
So having said that, if I go to a crime scene and somebody has fled, I have to weigh several factors. One, do we already know who the person is?
Okay.
If I know who the person is, then there's not necessarily a reason for me to go after him right now. That's not always the case. I might have to. This person could be a danger to himself while he's fleeing. If we don't apprehend them within a reasonable amount of time, they could commit another crime or be a danger to somebody else. So in that case, if I knew who it was, I might have to go after them.
Okay.
But like I said, they've either got to be missing and an endangerment to themselves or have committed a crime before I get the dog out to start looking. And you're right, there's a lot of things to weigh up. And I work very closely with all the patrolmen. A lot of times I'm not the first person at the scene. And for example, if Officer Malloy was the first one there, he just went to a call last night. It was an accident, and initially the call came in that the driver wasn't on scene. And he went there and got there first. And I knew that when he got there, he would call me and say, "Yeah, John, we're going to need the dog. This person fled." You know, and these guys know, the patrolmen know that when they get there, it's very important to try to keep an uncontaminated scene so that I can bring the dog up, introduce him to the scene.
Yeah. Take us through that.
Well, he's been trained to track. He's been trained. He's a dual-purpose dog. He's a patrol dog and he's a drug dog.
Okay.
And that means he's been trained to look for human odor or the odor of controlled substances. And that human odor can either be the person themselves or anything that they've contaminated, like an article that they may have dropped, like anything like they discarded something while they're fleeing the scene of a crime. Could be anything. Anything that can have human odor on it, he can find it.
Okay.
If the conditions are right and if I deploy him properly. I often think I'm the weak link in the team. He's a good dog. I got to make sure that I'm up to his standards. But if I get to a scene and somebody's fled, and generally I like to have a starting point. Somebody said, you know, I saw him run. He took off behind that car over there. That's ideal. It doesn't always have to be that way. But what I'll do is I'll bring Zip out of the car. He has a 15-foot long tracking lead that I'll attach to his harness. Now, when he feels that attached to his harness, he knows that he's getting out to look for somebody. And I will give him the command to search. And what he will start to do is he will put his nose down and he'll start to literally cast out. And I'll let out a little bit more lead as conditions warrant. And he'll begin to cast back and forth. Now, I can watch his body and his body language, and I know when he's what's called in odor. If I'm looking for a person, it's in human odor. And once he's acquired the suspect or the victim's scent, I will give him the command to track. And then he keeps his nose to the ground for the most part, and he will do his best to follow that person's scent.
Okay. How does he differentiate between the officers' scents who are already there or witnesses? Is it the starting point that you have to go for?
Well, that's why the scene is important. I mean, I can do some scent discrimination. If I can obtain or get a piece of clothing that's got the missing person, whether it's a suspect or victims, that can help. Oftentimes, if there is a lot of contamination at the scene, I'm forced to go further out. In other words, widen my perimeter as I'm slowly making circles to see if he'll pick up the scent. So that is a factor. And that's why, like I said, I spend time training all the guys that respond. Keep the contamination to a minimum. Don't let witnesses trample the scene, and don't you guys trample the scene. If you know that I'm coming, Zip and I will do a thorough search.
That's what I wanted to know, because I was trying to envision how you do this if the other guys are getting out of the car and in the area.
Everybody, you know, and it's a natural reaction. Guys get to the scene, they want to do their job. They want to try to get this person. Or if it's a missing, you know, God forbid it's a missing child, everybody wants to, and it takes training and experience to realize if the dog is en route, do what you can to secure the scene, and the dog will do a good search.
Okay. Excellent.
And it is. It's a team between, I have the dog and I'm the handler, but it's not just, it's everybody. It's everybody working the shift, whether it's here in Londonderry or whether it's mutual aid to another town. It's the way everybody works together.
All right, great. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. Guys, this has been terrific. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing with me and sharing with the audience some of what it's like to be a patrol officer in Londonderry. Obviously, a lot of us appreciate the work that you guys do. May take it for granted once in a while, but we obviously know that when we call, you guys are going to respond and do what you need to do, and it's good to hear some of what's behind that. And I also think it's good to share with the folks that little old Londonderry, as nice as it is, as rural as it is, has its challenges because of the great location we have. So thanks so much for coming on. Greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'd just like to say, if anybody has any questions or comments about the K-9 program, you can email me at the department, J, that's the letter J, Perry, P-E-R-R-Y, at LondonderryNewHampshire.org.
Okay.
Any questions, requests for demonstrations?
Great.
Just shoot me an email.
Excellent. And thanks for coming over from Rockingham.
Thank you.
That's terrific. All right, guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, that's another edition of Focus on Londonderry. Again, if you have any comments or suggestions or feedback on this show or any previous show, or you want to come on and talk about something you're interested in promoting, feel free to drop me a line at mikebrown58@comcast.net. I want to thank the crew of the Londonderry Access Center for always helping me out with my shows. They do a great job and a volunteer effort. And I also want to thank you for watching the show, and we'll see you the next time.